Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you had a great week. Today is July 21st, 2023, and this is your Friday planning video. I wanted to start today with a few tales from the front lines and end with a few updates to planning in the news. So first, from the front lines, getting a bit ahead of ourselves, but then again, we are planners. August, next month, is National Make-A-Will Month. Before I get too deep, let's get this out of the way. I don't practice law or give legal advice nor tax advice, but what I do a lot is work with your tax and legal advisors to help them know what course we're trying to chart, and then they assist with the actual legal and tax plan to help you reach your goals. So please connect them with me, and there's a form that will ask you to officially give us permission to discuss your personal information with them, and to get this plan in place. Okay, that being said, in many meetings in the past weeks, we've discussed the need to get this part of the estate plan and the supporting documents in place. Surveys are all over the place, but between 33 and 45% of Americans have written estate plans in place. That's it. That leaves a lot that do not. Most of you have stories of your own about an estate distribution that went wrong due to incomplete or missing documents. I can share many. This is the time we should look into this. Why do so many people avoid this? We know that it's talking about death. It's not a topic that a lot of people want to talk about at the dinner table in most cases, and frankly, it should not be. One of the myths is that it requires every detail be predetermined, from who will get the family pet to who gets the silver or the artwork. Now, if you want to get that granular, great, but that's not where you need to start. Once you sit down with your estate planning attorney, they will walk you through some of the general plan outlines. Where I've been able to assist is help by putting some worksheets in front of you, and this is a good start. Finally, on this topic, if you have a simple setup, your planning attorney will direct you, but you don't need a document the size of the tax code, 7,000 or 9,000 pages if you're wondering how much the tax code is, depending on who you ask. But you do need something. If your situation is more complex, expect some more complexity in your plan. This is to protect you and your heirs alike. State laws differ, so please, if you need help getting started, let's talk about it. Okay, next item from the front lines, cash management, still a hot topic. I've been addressing this in the Friday videos for weeks now, so I won't go too deep into it now. I'm happy to address it one-on-one, or you can check back on the past few weeks of Friday videos. Suffice it to say, I saw a 13-month CD yesterday advertised for 5%. Short-term U.S. Treasuries are over 5% these days. Demand deposits, bank accounts, they can be over 4.5% also. If you're at one of the big banks, the money center banks as they're called, and you have a savings account, please call them. As one person recently told me this week, I told them that I wanted to know what the best rate they can give me on my savings was. And if they were not going to start that with a 4, don't bother. Yes, the times have changed. Your money really can work for you now. Please, you work hard for it, make it work for you. Finally, a few important updates on the planning side. Student debt payments are about to restart. I hope you know that. If you've missed that memo, please call me. We need to talk about and review your news sources. Yes, beginning September, the loans will start to resume interest accrual. Yes, that rate will matter again. And then October payments will start to be due again. It does matter what kind of loan you have, subsidized or unsubsidized. So you need to dust off that loan information and review. I mentioned that a few weeks ago, but it's important enough to review again. If you have a direct subsidized loans, these are the ones available to undergrads who demonstrate a financial need. These do not accrue interest while you're in school, even now, and that is still true. They usually have a deferral period while you're in school and then often for 6 months after. They also don't accrue interest when payments are postponed due to unemployment or economic hardship. The U.S. Department of Education pays the interest on those loans. These details, as you would imagine with any government program, get confusing. I would direct you to the lender first. If you still have questions, contact me and we'll work to get some answers as well. The other kind, direct unsubsidized loans, are available to a broader group, grad students for example, and are not based on financial needs. These loans do have the interest accruing immediately, and borrowers are responsible for the interest from the beginning and during all periods of the loan. So they do end up being more expensive in many cases. Just to get an idea, about 30 million borrowers have the subsidized loan as of March 31. Average balance about $9,800. About 31 million have the unsubsidized balance of about $19,000 each. It may be time to revisit your budget, how the new payment plan will fit in. I'm concerned how this will hit the consumer, thus earnings and thus the stock market, but that's just a shameless teaser for the Monday market update video. I hope you'll watch that too. Last update, then off to the weekend. As efficient as the IRS is, there is once again a delay in implementation of the new rules. Secure Act of 2019 and the Secure Act 2.0 made some important changes in IRA withdrawal rules, especially for non-spousal beneficiaries. Much of this delay is about clarification and what to do with the RMDs for inherited IRAs. This is important, and actually from the IRS, strange but good news. The IRS is once again waiving penalties for RMDs that were missed in 2023 from the IRAs that were inherited in 2022. When the deceased IRA owner was taking RMD already, this adds to the pile that of the waivers, the penalties that if you inherited the IRA in 2020, 2021, 2022, or now 2023. The latest IRS announcement, notice 2023-54, extends the final regulations to be applied no earlier than the 2023 distribution calendar year. If that sounds confusing, it is. It's a 16-page IRS notice. Please, this is something that needs to be reviewed and applied by your tax advisor. As always, I'm happy to discuss this with them. Please let me know and we'll connect. So that's the latest on two of our big items that I've talked about in the past few years, student debt forgiveness and inherited IRAs. Please be in touch with myself and your tax advisor, and let's be sure your plan is set in line with all the proper rule changes. There's a lot going on, as I've been telling you. We are only a few weeks away from the end of another month and closer to the end of another year. May sound ominous, but we have a lot to do, a lot to plan, and a lot to be sure we have in your plans. Please stay in touch, not only when things change in your life, but as I've just mentioned, they keep changing the rules. This is a constant item that we'll work on. As I mentioned before, I'll be back on Monday with your Monday Market Update video, and then next week with another planning video. The August blog is coming too. Check out the website. Have a great weekend. We'll see you then.